All right, so this is part 3 of the Ultimate Beginner Convex tutorial. In the first part of the series, we built a super simple chat app, and then in the second part, we added a feature that involved calling out to an external service. In this part, we're going to look at a couple of things that you're going to want to know so that your app screams when you go to production. Specifically, we're going to be adding an index to our database for efficient queries and dealing with what happens if you want to write the same row at the same time from multiple places. So we've got a lot to cover here, so let's get right into it. All right, so let's imagine now that we want to add another feature to our app. Let's say we want to add a little feature up the top here where I can type the name of somebody in the chat and we will just see messages from that user. So I've just mocked that out just here, so you'll notice if I type something in, nothing happens just yet. So let's hop into the code and implement that now. So you'll see here that I've added this simple input here that's going to use the name filter and then update it when it changes. So now we can go back up to here and we can update our get messages query to take a name filter. And then we're going to get a TypeScript error because we haven't added that as an arg to our query yet. So let's do that now. So just a quick tip, on your keyboard, you can hold down Control or Command, click on the get messages function, and it's going to take us right to the definition. So now let's add our name filter in our args at the top. And then we're going to update the query body to look like this. So the first thing we're doing here is just checking to see whether we've been passed a name filter. And if we have, we're going to add this additional line to our query, which is our withIndex call right here. And as the name would suggest, we're going to be using the by user index to efficiently filter our messages by whatever we pass in the args. Now, I did actually have originally a whole section here that I was planning to take you through that would cover, filters and indices and table scans versus efficient lookups. But I don't want to take up too much of your time in this video, so make sure you get subscribed because I'm definitely going to be covering those topics in a future video. The TLDR though is that you almost certainly want to be using indices whenever you want to be filtering data within your Convex queries. This will keep your queries snappy as your size of your data in your table grows. Okay, so the final thing we need to do here is to get this working is to add an index to our table. And to do that, we're going to need a Convex schema, which we haven't added up to this point. So we can do that by adding a new file in our Convex directory called schema.ts, and then add the contents that looks like this. So here we define just a single table, which is going to have a user and body field. And then we're going to add our index here at the end, telling Convex that we're going to want to be indexing this table by the user. And again, the Convex schema is another one of those big topics that I'm going to have to gloss over here, unfortunately. But I will be revisiting it and doing a full video on it soon. So again, subscribe. But anyway, so our terminal now says that our functions are ready. So let's hop over into the browser and type a name into our name filter here. And bam, there we go. We're just seeing the messages from just that user. Okay, so now I just want to deal with one more thing that you probably need to know about when thinking about scaling Convex code, and that is dealing with write conflicts. So suppose you have a feature in your app like this where users can click a button to increment a number. Very exciting feature. So a naive implementation of this is that when you click the button, you might call a mutation that looks like this. So here we pass a counter ID for the row that we want to update. We grab the counter from the database and then we just add 1 to it. And this is all well and good and would work with low numbers of users, no problem. But if we have hundreds or thousands of people hitting this at the same time, we're going to run into issues around conflicted writes. Basically, it means that too many people are trying to write to the same row at the same time. Now, there are a number of ways that we could go about fixing this, as it is a pretty common issue to all databases. But I just want to highlight that Convex has a pretty unique feature in the form of its components, and in this case, the scalableCounter component that we can use to solve this. But firstly though, Convex components, if you're not familiar with them, are basically like little apps that live inside of your own app. You can kind of think of them as plugins that have access to their own slice of the database and their own functions that are private to just the component. So the scalableCounter component is one of these components that we can use to solve this problem. Now, I'm not going to go into too many details about this particular component, but I just wanted to point out, keep it inside your head that should you start to encounter write conflict issues, then there is probably a component that will be able to help you. They've basically done a lot of the hard work, so you don't need to. All right, so that just about wraps up the third and final part of this beginner tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please do drop me a like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, leave me down below or come find me on Discord. I read every single comment and reply to most. And if you're still looking to get a handle on what Convex is exactly, I can recommend you check out this video. I go over what I think are the 3 most essential parts to understanding Convex. So until next time, thanks for watching. Cheerio.